Well, thank you very much. We have some people that have captivated the attention of the whole world, not just our country, the whole world, and they're very brave, and there was a lot of rocket under them. I never saw anything like that. We were talking about it. Any questions, please?
President. Thank you, Mr. President. First of all, it's a great honor to meet all of you. Congratulations, and welcome to the White House.
This almost feels illegal to know after a car accident. Never sue the person who crashed into you.
I have had the privilege of interviewing Gene Cernan, the last man to walk on the moon.
Oh, good.
Is that what you would like to do? And Mr. President, do you think that will happen during your second term?
Well, we have a shot at it. I mean, we don't like to say definitely, because then you say, oh, we failed. Because I think we could say we're ahead of schedule. So we have a good shot. We've authorized it. And I think with this team and, with Jared's done such an amazing job at NASA, I think we have a good shot, right? We'll see.
Yes, Mr. President, we have an achievable plan now back to the moon. And we're back in the business of launching moon rockets with frequency. So we just sent Artemis II around the moon. We're going to launch Artemis III in 2027. We'll protect for 2 opportunities in 2028.
And it's going to turn out to be one of our most important things. I think it'll turn out to be one of the most important things they did. But we got involved with NASA bringing it back, and I was saying when I first looked at some of your facilities, they had grass growing on the runways, right in between the cracks of the asphalt, and but not anymore. It's really strong. And what they do, one of the things they do that's so important is for our military offense and defense. And a lot of people say, well, is it worth it? It's really worth it, because what's happened militarily, you see what we're doing militarily, a lot of that comes from space. So it's been pretty great. Good question. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have 2 questions for you. First, on the topic of space, do you have an update on the UFO files and when we're going to be seeing those?
Well, I think we're going to be releasing as much as we can in the near future. For some reason, and I guess it's just a reason it's been in the minds of people for a long time, that is such, they want to find out about the UFOs and anything having to do with UFO or related material, and we're going to be releasing a lot of things that we have, and I think some of it's going to be very interesting to people. I've interviewed people, my first term primarily, but I'm going to be reading about it. Yes.
Sir, you spoke to Vladimir Putin not too long ago. Did you talk to him about
today?
Did you talk to him about progress in the space area, and what else did you?
I didn't talk about space. No, I talked about Ukraine, and I talked a little bit about Iran. I talked about a few different subjects, mostly about Ukraine, and we had a very good conversation. I think we're going to come up with a solution relatively quickly, I hope.
What does he want?
I think he'd like to see a solution, I can tell you, and that's good.
What involvement does he want to have in the Iran situation?
He told me he'd like to be involved with the enrichment if he can help us get it. I said I'd much rather have you be involved with ending the war with Ukraine. To me, that would be more important, because we're gonna have that. Look, we're not going to let Iran have a nuclear weapon. And we've knocked out their Navy, we've knocked out their Air Force, we've knocked out their anti-aircraft, everything, apparatus, everything they have, their radar, they have very little left. And they have some missiles, a small percentage. They have a small percentage of missile-making facilities. We knocked out about 80% of them. The rest could come very quickly if we don't make a deal. They're not going to have a nuclear weapon. They know it. And just about everybody else does. And so we talked about that a little bit. He doesn't want to see them have a nuclear weapon either. But I had a long talk with President Putin. I suggested a little bit of a ceasefire, and I think he might do that. He might announce something having to do with that. Did he announce it yet?
No, but I was wondering, I was just going to ask you.
No, I asked him about, even if it's a little ceasefire, there's so many people being killed, it's so ridiculous.
Mr.
Yeah.
President.
Thank you, Mr. President. In light of today's Supreme Court ruling on the Voting Rights Act, do you want Republican states in the South to look at redrawing congressional districts before
I
the
don't know, you have
midterms?
to tell me, when did the ruling come out? I've been with the astronauts. I've been with contractors, because we're trying to get the ballroom built
Yeah.
ahead of schedule. It's right on schedule. It's ahead of schedule now. I want to keep it that
The
way.
ruling came out today.
And I was also with commissioning some people, but one of, David Warrington's son, I don't know, you know David, everybody knows David. He's got this incredible son, so he was just sworn in, so we had other things. Tell me about what happened.
Well, some think that the ruling could create more Republican-held congressional seats in the South.
That's good.
Yeah, would you
That's the
want
kind
them-
of ruling I like.
Would you want them to
When did
proceed?
that happen?
Well, the Supreme Court ruled on it this morning.
Really? Is that right? You tell me about the ruling.
Well, I have a question.
This is
Mr.
CNN
President.
fake news.
On your call with President Putin today, do you think the war in Iran ends first or the war in Ukraine?
Two people place the same exact trade. One loses, the other one wins. Why? Here's the truth. Pros and amateurs take the same exact trade and only one walks away with a profit. It's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. Right now, you've got two paths. You can keep trading like a retail trader, guessing, over-leveraging, chasing charts, and burning out. Or you can get in the room, learn the system the pros use, and start trading with confidence, discipline, and actual consistency. You'll discover exactly how to stop trading with emotion and start using a system, read charts the way institutions do, build a repeatable process that compounds results, and the best part, no cost, no fluff, just real trading from real pros. But if you don't act, nothing changes. A month from now, you'll still be jumping strategies, hoping for a breakout. Or you could be trading a system that finally works. Click the link, lock in your free seat, and we'll see you at our pro trading headquarters. Seats are limited and fill up every week. Don't wait. Don't miss out. Click now. Let's go.
If you got hit, even if you were not driving, you need to try this.
Because if you were in a car accident in the last year, you could be owed a large cash payment and not even know it. Even if you weren't driving, all you have to do is click the link in this video, answer 5 simple questions about your accident, and see if you have a case that could be worth money, like this, or even like this. If the accident wasn't your fault and it happened in the last 12 months, you could be owed a lot more than you think. And this doesn't just apply to drivers. If you were a passenger in an Uber, walking, riding a bike, or on a motorcycle, you may still qualify. Most people never check, and insurance companies are hoping you don't. So, don't skip this. Click the link and see what your case could be worth. People all over the country have already received checks for tens of thousands and sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they did it without going to court. That's because there's money already set aside for accidents like these. For example, Stacy didn't think her accident was a big deal, but after checking, she ended up receiving $90,000.
Oh my God!
And if your accident wasn't your fault, you may be able to get money for time you missed at work, medical bills, pain and suffering, damage to your car, and you don't have to pay anything up front. You don't have to fight insurance companies, and you don't have to deal with lawyers trying to take advantage of you. Checking is easy. Just click the link and answer 5 quick questions. It takes about 30 seconds. Most people think, whatever the insurance company offers me is all I can get. That's not true. That's what Jessica thought too. The insurance company told her her injuries weren't worth much, even though her medical bills kept going up. Then she found auto relief assistance, and she ended up getting 5 times more than what the insurance company first offered. Her final settlement was $72,000.
We got a settlement for $72,000.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
If you're even a little curious what your accident could be worth, click the link and check. Here's what happens next. Within minutes, an accident analyst in your local area will call you directly to review your accident. They'll determine right then and there if you have a case. And if you do, they handle everything for you. No chasing paperwork, no arguing with insurance companies, no out-of-pocket costs. You just sit back and wait to get paid. Some cases can even settle in just a few short months.
Look what came in today, $72,000. You heard that right? That's literally life-changing money for me. Just to be clear, I did not do anything special to get this check. I just followed a couple simple steps. All I know, I was injured in an accident that was not my fault, and I had insurance when it happened. So if that sounds like your situation, let me show you exactly what I did. I clicked on this site, I answered a few quick questions, and requested a free case evaluation. After I submitted, literally within 2 minutes, I was called by a case analyst in my area.
To see if your accident qualifies, click the link below and answer the 5 questions. Now, some people feel uncomfortable doing this. They don't want to cause problems. They worry it feels greedy. But this isn't about greed. If the accident wasn't your fault, you shouldn't be paying for it. Insurance companies will keep the money if you don't speak up. You have the right to see what you're owed. Now imagine what that money can do for you. $10,000, $50,000, or even $100,000. Bills paid, a safer car, less stress. That's what this is really about. One last thing you should know. There's a time limit on accident claims. In many cases, you only have about 12 months from the accident to take action. After that, the chance is gone. No reminders, no warnings. The insurance company keeps the money. So if your accident happened within the last year, don't wait. Click the link, answer 5 simple questions, and see what your case could be worth while you still can.
Well, we talked more about the war in Ukraine, but he would like to be of help. I said, before you help me, I want to end your war. So we had a good talk. I've known him a long time. I think he was ready to make a deal a while ago. I think some people made it difficult for him to make a deal, but we talked more about Ukraine.
But which war do you think ends first?
That's an interesting question. You know, coming from you, that's very interesting. Which war would end first? I don't know. Maybe they're on a similar timetable. I think Ukraine, militarily, they're defeated, okay? You wouldn't know that by reading the fake news, but militarily, look, their Navy. So they had 159 ships. Every ship is right now underwater. Typically, that's pretty good. What do you think, Jared? I mean, it's going to be hard for them to make a naval comeback. Okay, now they have an Air Force. Every one of their planes has been shot down or has been decimated. They have missiles, about 82% are gone, and they have drones, and most of them are gone. Most of the factories are mostly gone, and we have tremendous anti-drone equipment now, between lasers and that new, very special machine gun that knocks them out of the air like flies. And we use bullets instead of $1 million, missiles to knock out a $30,000 drone. So I would say Jared would tell me that with everything you just heard, typically we're in pretty good shape. And in addition, their economy is crashing. Their, as you know, their money, they call it their money, they don't have a name for it. Their money is valueless. They've got inflation that nobody's ever seen before. Other than that, I think they're doing quite well. If you read the New York Times, you'd say they're doing wonderfully because it's fake news. Or if you watch CNN, I mean, you cover it all the time. You think they're doing well. Do you think they're doing well where they have no Navy, no Air Force, no anti-aircraft apparatus, other than what they may have put there? They may have brought in some light stuff during the ceasefire, and we know exactly where it is, so it'll be knocked out within the first 15 minutes.
You're about to Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I want to go back to the Supreme Court ruling on the Voting Rights Act. I know you said you haven't seen it.
When did it come out? Just now?
No, it came out this morning, but basically very much narrows the Voting Rights Act.
Was it considered a win for who?
A win for Republicans.
I love it.
But my question...
This is a very good... We can end this news conference right now. I want to read it.
My question for you, Mr. President, is that some Republican governors have not responded in terms of what they're going to do.
Now at Whataburger, you can get the new Big Ranch Wrap for $3, 5 premium Whata chicken bites for $4, or a bacon cheese Whataburger Jr. for $5. Add fries and a drink for a little more. Now that's a Whata deal at Whataburger. Download the app.
Early voting, for example, in Louisiana.
Republican governors, what?
Republican governors.
What about it?
Early voting begins Saturday there, for instance. Should they redraw the map in the next couple of
I would. I mean, it depends. I mean, some states don't need to redraw. and some do. I mean, I know what the concept of the role, I just haven't seen the result. Yeah, I would say generally I would think that they would want to do it. Some are greatly helped and some, you know, didn't make much difference. Yeah, I would say they would do that. They have time to do it. Yeah, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. I wanted to ask you, there's a lot of drama on the House floor today. Several bills were stalled, and a rule took 2 hours to pass today, and there's still some tension over the Farm Bill. Do you think that you need to get more involved legislatively on Capitol Hill?
Well, we want the Farm Bill. The Democrats don't. We want security, okay? We need security. We want security. The Democrats don't think we need security. They actually do, but they suffer greatly from Trump derangement syndrome, like at levels that nobody's ever seen. They're sick people. There's something wrong with them. They don't want to pay anybody for security. They don't like ICE. They don't like Border Patrol people. They don't like the people that keep us safe. You know, when they ran this, they let 25 million people into our country, and many of those people were from prisons. They were from mental institutions, drug dealers, murderers, 11,888 murders, half of whom committed more than one murder. They think that was fine. I happen to like law enforcement. They essentially want to defund law enforcement, and I don't think the public's going to let them get away with it. You know, we got it all approved in the great big beautiful bill, and they want to renegotiate. We don't like that.
Yesterday, Mr. President, the King's speech that he made to Congress, he spoke strongly, forcefully about the necessity for a strong NATO alliance. He also spoke about the necessity to continue to support Ukraine. Did his speech in any way change your thinking on either of those issues?
Well, you have to understand, my thinking is, I think, exactly correct, but I was very disappointed with the fact that when we called on them to give us a little hand, we didn't need it. I actually did it just to see whether or not they'd be there. When we called on NATO to give us a hand with Ukraine, and in particular the most recent, you know, we asked them to do certain things on Ukraine, and we also wanted them to do things with Iran. And on Ukraine, they're very much involved, but they didn't do things the way we would like to see it. You know, it's been going on for a long time. And on Iran, they weren't there. As you know it better than anybody, they weren't there. The King is fantastic. We spent a lot of time together. We had a lot of talk. We talked about this also. And he loves his country, and he's a great king, and he's a great friend of mine. And I think if he were doing that, if that were up to him, he would have probably helped us with Iran. He would have followed the suggestions we made with respect to Ukraine, because, you know, we have some disagreements on Ukraine, and not having to do with NATO so much as European countries. But no, you know, he's coming back tomorrow. We had an incredible evening last night, and he's leaving tomorrow. He's going to come back and see us before he leaves, and you know. But I think he's a phenomenal representative for his country. I think the people in the United Kingdom should be proud. I loved his speech yesterday. I watched it. I loved the speech last night. I don't know about my speech. I thought my speech was okay too, but I thought he was. I think he's an unbelievable king, and by the way, an unbelievable queen. They are a great couple.
Mr. President, this morning, we were talking about how busy you were this morning. James Comey was in court. He self-surrendered. He's now been charged a second time. This time over a social media post with seashells that said 8647. Do you really think that he was endangering your life or threatening your life with that?
Well, if anybody knows anything about crime, they know 86. You know what 86? It's a mob term for kill 'em. You know, you ever see the movies? 86 'em. The mobster says to one of his wonderful associates, 86 'em. That means kill 'em. It's. I think of it as a mob term. I don't know. People think of it as something having to do with disappearing, but the mob uses that term to say when they want to kill somebody, they say 86, the son of a gun. I'm trying to keep the language nice and clear. They don't use that term, son of a gun. They use another term. But that's a mob term for kill 'em. Yeah.
But do you really think your life was in danger?
Probably. I don't know. You know, based on what I'm seeing out there, yeah. The people like Comey have created tremendous danger, I think, for politicians and others. Comey is a dirty cop. He's a very dirty cop. He cheated on the elections. He tried to help Hillary Clinton, as you know. He dismissed a lot of things that he should have proceeded with. I wasn't involved, but he should have proceeded with. No, he's a dirty cop. He's a crooked man, yeah.
Mr. President, you just described there's been disagreement between the U.S. and Keir Starmer on support for Iran. Did your visit with the king smooth that over or create any warmth?
My visit with the king really was it was extraordinary. I mean, he's an extraordinary man. He's an extraordinary person. And yeah, it helps from the standpoint that, when you like the king of a country so much, it probably helps your relationship with the prime minister. But, in that case, the prime minister, I said, do you want to send a little help? He said, no, we'll send it after you win the war. I said, that's not good. That's not good. What do you think of that, Jared? Sending help after we win the war? I don't know. Some of that bothers me. I don't want to get you guys involved, but I can imagine what you're thinking.
The United Arab Emirates, the UAE, they pulled out of OPEC.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think it's great. I think it's great. Look, I know him very well, Mohammed, and very smart. And he probably maybe wants to go his own way. That's a good thing. I think ultimately it's a good thing for getting the price of gas down, getting oil down, getting everything down. They have it all. He's a great leader, actually. So no, I'm okay. They're having some problems in OPEC.
Mr. President, Kevin Warsh passed a hurdle today. The Senate Banking Committee confirmed his nomination. It will go to the Senate floor.
We
He'll
need
be on the
somebody.
Fed in mid-May. Is it your expectation that he can persuade the other Fed governors to lower interest rates?
Well, we'll see. They should,
recently.
because it's a good time to lower them. We're the most prime country anywhere in the world. We're right now having investments made in our country at a level that nobody's ever seen. No other country's ever seen it. Tens of billions of dollars are being invested. Factories, auto plants, AI. I mean, not just AI, because AI is new. We're leading China by a lot in AI, as you know. I'm letting them build their own electric plants. They're building them, otherwise you could never do it. It was a concept that I came up with. I'm very proud of it. And by the way, they're building electric plants that people in the utility industry have never seen before. They're saying, man, that's incredible. So they're building these massive buildings that cost billions of dollars, and they're building their own electric plants, so they're not taking from a source or the old grid, an old grid that would be able to do it. No, we're leading with everything, but in the history of our beautiful world, there's never been a country that has so much money being invested in it as us. And tremendous number of auto plants, by the way. The auto plants are coming out of Canada, Mexico, Japan, South Korea, Germany. They're all coming to the United States. And the reason is I have a very smart tariff policy. We were taken advantage of for years. We were being ripped off by other countries for years. And those days are over. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, regarding Iran, how long are you prepared to maintain the blockade? Could that go several more months?
Well, the blockade is genius, okay? The blockade has been 100% foolproof. It shows how good our Navy is, I can tell you that. Nobody's going to play games. We have the greatest military in the world, and I built much of it during my first term, and we've been building it since. And the greatest anywhere in the world, nobody even close. And you see that, whether it's Venezuela, and they have a good military in Venezuela, but it was over in one day. It was actually over in about 48 minutes. Iran, the same thing. I mean, militarily, we've wiped them out. They have no military left. It's all, the Navy's at the bottom of the sea. The Air Force is never going to fly again. We've got an amazing military. Now they have to cry uncle. That's all they have to do. Just say, we give up. We give up. But their economy is really in trouble. So it's a dead economy.
Can Fury and the blockade get Iran to nuclear talks fast enough, or do you think another wave of strikes will be necessary?
I don't know. It depends. We have talks. We're having talks with them now, and we're not flying anymore with 18-hour flights every time we want to see a piece of paper. We're doing it telephonically, and it's very nice. I make a call, or I have my people make a call, and you know the answer. I always like face-to-face. I consider it better. But when you have to fly 18 hours every time you want to have a meeting, and you know what the meeting is all about, and you know they're going to give you a piece of paper that you don't like before you even leave. It's ridiculous. They've come a long way. The question is whether or not they're going to go far enough. So at this moment, there will never be a deal unless they agree that there will be no nuclear weapons. Yeah, go ahead.
Are you considering relocating NASA's headquarters out of D.C.? States like Florida, Texas, and Ohio have expressed interest.
You're going to have to say it differently.
Sorry, are you considering relocating NASA's headquarters out of D.C. once the lease is up? States like Texas, Ohio, and Florida.
Well, the best man to tell you that is the man standing right over here. You heard that question? With those beautiful ears of yours? He's got great hearing, you know, he's got super hearing.
Trick of the trade, sir.
What's the answer to that?
I think the answer to that is we have 10 amazing centers around the country that all kind of bubble up to contribute to the mission we're able to undertake, like Artemis II. I think in terms of the headquarters, we have a lot of people very interested in our mission. So being here in D.C. gives us the opportunity to kind of interact from all our stakeholders, make sure we make the right decisions for the nation.
Yeah, D.C. is an advantage, I guess, for you. It's got to go around. It's got to see some senators, make sure they keep going, right?
Yes, Mr. President.
Yeah, probably staying around is not so bad. And importantly, Washington, D.C. is now one of the safest cities in the country. When I came here a little more than a year ago, it was a very unsafe city. And now, maybe even more importantly than that, we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. And you helped make it hot. You know, you helped make it hot. When a year and a half ago, and I say it a lot, the King of Saudi Arabia, but others also, the King of Saudi Arabia said, Mr. President, a year and a half ago, we thought you had a dead country. We thought the United States was a dead country, and now you have the hottest country anywhere in the world, and we do. And believe it or not, I mean, when everybody in the world was watching that incredible performance by NASA, these incredible people behind me, where they get the bravery, I have no idea. But you're a big part of it. You really are. We have the hottest country in the world. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Brad. 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 We'll go out that door, guys. Thank you, Brad.
Thank you guys, this way.
Thank you, Brad. Thank you, guys.
This way. This way. In front of the
Thank you.
cameras. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Mr.
How do you like the new walkway? Good, huh?
Very impressive.
Beautiful. Good job. Thank you.
At Raising Cane's, we hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, and salt every fry. Because when you